So I recently rewatched the Marvel animated series X-Men 97, and I have to say, this show continues to prove its mastery. I've been wanting to rewatch the entire show for a long time, and I finally got around to it, and I could not help but think the entire time watching it, why is it so good? The three things that come to mind right away are the incredible storytelling, the amazing character development, and the cinematic sequences of pure X-Men action. This is honestly a top 5 Marvel project of all time for me. It's up there with Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Black Panther. If you are not already aware, the X-Men are my favorite Marvel team, and this show truly encapsulates the X-Men perfectly. They are continuing to have to live in a world where everyone hates them, and the trajectory they go on feels like a perfect X-Men story. While going on this path, you get to really deal with the complexities of these characters, especially with the fact that mutants are living in a world with humans who are scared of them, some hate them, and some want them gone. And this is where the moral dilemma of the X-Men comes into play. Obviously, you have Charles Xavier leading the group called the X-Men, a group of mutants he has trained and taught to use their powers for good and to be able to show the world that they are not threats. A contrasting side to this is Magneto, who builds the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and says you need to take action with these mutant powers to take the world back from the people that are going to overthrow us and put us in chains. Or worse, kill us all. So Magneto and Charles are famous for their varying opinions on how to deal with the human and mutant coexistence, and in this show, it builds this perfectly. Obviously, Charles Xavier has died in the previous incarnation of the show, the X-Men the animated series from the 90s, and this is a continuation of that series in a more modern storytelling fashion. With all of this being said, and I'm not going to get into every single plot detail, but Magneto is the standout character for me. He's incredibly well written, and I will have a video about him coming out in the future, so stay tuned for that, but he is the standout character for me in this series. Every single scene he's in, he steals it. He drops incredible lines. His arc is really well done. He's just a really well developed character. They really do understand Magneto, and the way that he starts in the series and ends is just breathtaking. I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts for that Magneto video, so if you are curious, please check that out once it comes out. But getting into the villains, Bastion is a fantastic villain. In my first time viewing, I thought Mr. Sinister should have been the main villain, but rewatching this proved me wrong. And I still enjoyed Bastion on my initial watch when the series first came out, but rewatching this again, Mr. Sinister is a pawn in a much bigger situation, and Bastion is a mastermind, and the way they portray him in this fully embodies everything that makes a villain great. He's just trying to preserve his presence in the world. He's obviously a biological mold of Nimrod, Master Mold, and obviously his human parents, but he is different. He can hear technology, he can feel technology, and he's creating a race of humans called the Prime Sentinels, where they can easily just detect mutants undercover. They look like humans, and they can easily eradicate mutants and enslave them all across the planet, which his hope is to turn the world into a utopia where the humans thrive, but in the end, they're actually Prime Sentinels. The animation remains really well done as well. I would love to see an X-Men animated movie in this animation style. I think they could easily produce this. The show also continues to make me root for the X-Men. Every single episode, every character gets their time to shine. I think this show remains one of Marvel's greatest feats. Like I said, it's up there with Avengers Infinity War and Endgame for bringing together a culminating event that was a spectacle for fans, with Spider-Man No Way Home being the culmination of 3 generations of Spider-Man, and Black Panther for being a cultural phenomenon. All of these things defined different phases of Marvel. You got the spectacle epics, you've got the culmination of 3 generations of a single character, and then you've got a cultural phenomenon in a worldwide hit. This show deserves to be up there on the Mount Rushmore of Marvel projects forever. I know most people have watched this, but if you have not rewatched it in a long time, it is a thrilling and fantastic ride. I highly recommend rewatching this. You won't regret it.